वक्त था वक्त मसीहा न किसी और का वक्त मैं ना आता तो कोई और ही आया होता।
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Dear viewers, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. This na MTA Africa from we studios na Saloon. Now welcome to another edition of the program Hidden Treasures. Hidden Treasures na that program we will discuss the books and where the promised Messiah alayhi salam where we say he don't write them books there in defense of Islam and the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and so far he don't cover so many subject matters for the one day where we say they're ready for take benefit from them books there, just like the way our ancestors don't talk and declare say vo kazaen do hazarun sal se madfunte abmed etahun agar koi mile umidwar. Women say that gentry we don't hide over 1,000 years, he say now at the distributor to that person will be say ready for acceptance. Today we can discuss one party book saying where the promised Messiah alayhi salam don't write, we na Noah's Ark. The promised Messiah alayhi salam write this book here in the year 1902. Wusai began for write and explain about the plague for say God Almighty. He don't inform us say that in followers them we be say them believe in him, they follow in your own teachings to the dot. He say them God Almighty therefore save them from the plague. So for the detail of what is the promised Messiah alayhi salam right inside this book, I get two brothers name from the Ahmadiyya Muslim Jamaat na Salon. Na me immediate right I get brother Hassan Sise Sab. Na me extreme right, I get brother Hamid Ali Bangura Sahib. Me brother them, now welcome to the program Hidden Treasures. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Ade teluna boku thank you we una don can join me for discuss this book here we na Noah's Ark. You know, inside this book, the promised Messiah alayhi salam be therefore give advice to the general public with regard to the vaccine of the British government, and also the promise where God Almighty don't give to around with regards to in followers them. So it be therefore give beautiful explanation in this connection. So I will request brother Hassan Sisesa for making will help you and give you the explanation where the promised Messiah alayhi salam don't give inside this book Noah's Ark.
Jazakumullah hasana jaza. The promised Messiah Islam na that area day he starts the book for complement the effort of the British government by then, the time way the sickness being bust out. And he explained inside they say indeed the British government they try in the sense that for provide a solution or provide a cure to the sickness will be done for on the land by then. So the British government be advised for inoculation when a kind of injection where they will give them so that they will get a cure in the system as against the sickness. So we being therefore urge the general public that let everybody go for that inoculation day. Not so like in any way they go do for cause problem to the general population. He said because this is not to the culture and the habits of the British government by then for make them go create problem. So he say let people are not afraid, let them go out there and ensure say then take this inoculation because it's very much important so that then go before and the sickness will be don't come then day. Then it be also get for make a known inside the beginning of this book that even though you don't make this announcement, but in your Jama member them not for take this inoculation, they not for take this thing away, don't request them for tell them. He said because the reason being Allah the Almighty don't tell and say then one day wait and day within the four walls of in house, then go get complete protection from Allah the Almighty. And at the time where he make this announcement, he say, no say, this talk now we don't talk, some man go and laugh, some man go say, what's in happen? You don't tell we Lord take this, but you just like you and you Jaman not take this. You know, say everybody go get in your way, how do you think It's important for this one for make in Jama member they no go take am because now a promise where God Almighty don't give and say in and in Jama member then get full protection against this sickness here. Why? This also will serve as a sign for the truthfulness of in young Kamwan. You don't understand? So this is the reason why it been get for emphasize say let in young Jama member don't take am. But then one them way then sincere with the bayat where they don't sign at their hand. They want the way then righteous. They want the way to follow the word of righteousness. Sincerely with them bing with them. They say no matter how the sickness go cause problem around and not go affect them. Because Allah the Almighty don't say the one day within the within the four walls of your house, then get full protection. Yeah. So we go for make this announcement here known and urge the people for make them go out there and take the inoculation.
Jazakumullah sana jaza. Briefly, if I can understand what you don't tell you, now that the promised Messiah alayhi salam be make an announcement to the general public for say the vaccine where the government don't say they can give for the people and so that them will be protected from the plague where we don't they kill beaucoup people at that time. But with regards to in Jamaat members there, he say there is no need for make them take the vaccine. He say because God Almighty don't make a promise to them for say he will protect, he will save in Jamaat members them. Jazakallah sana jaza for that beautiful explanation where he don't give. And inside this book, Noah's Ark, the Promised Messiah alayhi salam be therefore explain the background of the creation of a new earth and a new heaven, where the Promised Messiah alayhi salam be therefore explaining beautifully what in that new heaven and new earth there. So for this area, I go request Brother Hamid Ali Bangura Sahab for making go give you the explanation where the Promised Messiah alayhi salam don't give inside this book, Noah's Ark.
Yeah, jazakumullah khairan, asana jaza. I tell you plenty thank you for the question. Yes, the promised Messiah alayhi salam, he don't write inside this book here where we talk about when the Noah's Ark concerning, and he tell people then say Allah the Almighty, he don't intend for create a new earth and a new heaven. And before that one day, he explain clearly say the way how the dunya it don't look like. People them don't spiritually die. He say the one day where they live na this earth, where he say they create a new earth, the one day where they live na this earth, they say they don't completely forget Allah the Almighty. And that they don't forget Allah Almighty, then they make their own gods them, where then they actually make with their own hand. Now then they worship. Yeah. Yes, and the promised Messiah alayhi salam say, now because of this, Allah the Almighty, he don't decree for create a new earth so that mortal man go able for recognize Allah the Almighty. And he say, waiting at that new earth day. He say the new earth, he say na in the pure and righteous people them, where Allah the Almighty therefore establish their community in this very earth. He say through them people then they go manifest in manifestation. To them people then they and say and through them people then they people then go realize, people then go recognize Allah the Almighty, and himself he go reveal in your manifestation to them, and people then go see who are the true God. Then the promised Messiah say the new heaven, what's in the new heaven where Allah don't intend for create. I say the new heaven na the signs them, the heavenly signs them, prophecies them, where Allah the Almighty, he therefore make them manifest in this world through his own chosen servants, where na his own messenger. He say now through them signs then they, in servants therefore make them clear to the dunya that na the true God, where people therefore worship, because people they don't completely forget Allah the Almighty. So much so that they only depend on their own gods now, where themselves they make with their hand. They say the religion itself, it don't become stories, tales. Now so like business no more now. Now you go see inside religions. You see, so now that make the sender in servants day for them can manifest the lights of Islam. They say even look the Muslims them, how they don't completely go away from the pure teachings of Islam and the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. This was as a result of this, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He don't desire, He don't decree for let He create a new heaven and a new earth. For create people them, we go worship Allah Almighty. Now this very earth, not like say they can't turn about this earth, He make other one. Okay. Now for get people then we go worship Allah the Almighty, fully and solely, and recognize the greatness of Allah the Almighty.
Jazakumullah Jaza for that beautiful explanation we Irangi with regards to the creation of a new earth and new heaven, how the promised Messiah don't explain that inside this book, Noah's Ark. You know, for say when you look at the condition of the world today, that God Almighty, the CC, people don't forget Allah the Almighty, don't forget Him, right? And now it just sounds like the people and spiritually say they don't die, right? Because they don't recognize Allah the Almighty. So now you say God Almighty therefore can create that new earth and new heaven will be said through in prophets then we will come and pass that message there to the Fambulem so that they go for worship Allah the Almighty. We be say then go for recognize Him. Jazakallah for that beautiful explanation we Irangi. Inside this book, the Promised Messiah alayhi salam be give for two additional earthly signs and where God Almighty don't show in fulfillment of the prophecies of the prophets then in support of the truthfulness of Adam of this age, when your own very self, the Promised Messiah alayhi salam, we get for bring Quranic verses and also hadiths, for point out and explain beautifully to Fambulem. So for the explanation where the Promised Messiah alayhi salam don't give inside this book, I will request Brother Hassan Sisesa for making go explain to Fambulem for make them understand.
Jazakumullah. Yeah, like how you mentioned, he explained two very important signs them in support of in claim or in support of in truthfulness. One by them we mentioned we get for do with the means of transportation we get for change in the latter days. And for make we will get a clear picture of this one, it being get for refer we to the Holy Quran, where na chapter 81 verse 5 inside the Allah the Almighty don't say wa idhal isharu utilat. That the time when the woman camel we again belly for 10 months we then go abandon them, meaning they not go for use them again. And this one said the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam inside another hadith being for real this particular statement of the Holy Quran who say a mention say wala yutrakannal kilasu fala yus'a alaiha, that time get for cancer we that woman camel then get for abandon and they not go for use them at all. Waiting this mean, it means say time get for come way a new means of transportation get for come other than waiting they be used then and day. As we all know, those days they be use more of animals them for come from one point to the other point. Let me get camel, let me get horse, let me go that thing that like I mentioned where they be use. So here the prophecy don't mention say in the latter days other means of transportation get for come. And today we no need for highlight them. We all know now the way how science don't advance and the kind of new means of transportation we don't do now all over the world. And at that time the Promised Messiah Islam be refer we, to the means of transportation by then we be done in Makkah. And between Makkah and Medina where they don't get a train system, that was then. But now after a century ago we get so many out there when a new means of transportation. The other sign again where it take way through na the plague, where na a kind of sickness we being bust out. And for this one as well. Yeah, and the other sign again we mentioned in the book, a mention that the second sign na the plague, where na a kind of a sickness. And for this one, a refer in the Holy Quran, Surah Bani Israel, chapter 17, verse 59. Which Allah the Almighty mentioned. I will just give the explanation there that no town, no day way be left, but being therefore get a destruction before the day of resurrection, and self being therefore receive punishment. So here they talk about the plague, like I will explain from the onset of the program, that this one self now is sign, earthly sign, dunya sign, for sure say this nothing we Allah the Almighty be done prophesy, say kind of sickness go bust out, and instead don't come to carry echo, and that this sickness don't happen for nothing, but a sign where they prove my truthfulness in support of the Adam of this age. So he also go further for mention that at the time of the Adam before we, when Allah the Almighty be one for create that Adam, he said the angels them get for raise concern. But at that time, Allah the Almighty not listen to them, and be do within a place. So this own time as well, Allah the Almighty don't raise them. So nobody no go for stop God Almighty will, and nobody no go for dictate to waiting. God Almighty want for do, make you do so or make you do so. Now waiting God Almighty want for do, nine it do. So this now signs them in support of in truthfulness.
Jazakumullah ahsana jaza. I say plenty thank you to Brother Hassan Sisesa for this beautiful explanation where you don't give with regards to the two additional earthly signs where God Almighty don't show in support of the Adam of this age when the promised Messiah alayhi salam, you get for bring out verses from the Quran as well as from the Hadith where it don't explain then two signs, and the one part then of course now the transportation in your area for say trade they may use animals for move from one place to another. Now it don't change where we say they not get for use them again, and other means of transportation where they use in this day and age, and come down to the plague for say dance itself for serve as a sign for the truthfulness of the promised Messiah alayhi salam, and you don't explain them two signs there beautifully. May God Almighty bless you for that. Inside this book, the promised Messiah alayhi salam be get for right, for say God Almighty don't give him a revelation. We say inni uhafizu kulla man fi dar, for say Allah the Almighty he don't tell him for say that na incessant get for protect all the one them way they na in your house, all right? Be get for give beautiful explanation of this revelation. So for that explanation where the promised Messiah don't give, I will request Brother Hamid Ali Bangura sir for making we explain to Fambulan where they watch me.
Yeah, Jazakumullah khairan. Indeed, the promised Messiah alayhi salam inside this book, Noah's Ark, on page 17, before this revelation, where you just don't read, he explained something very important concerning the bayat, where people then they sign allegiances, sign bayat na in hand for enter in the fold of Jamaat Ahmadiyya. No. He talks say, for just talk with you words them, for say you don't sign bayat, the words the way they repeat for sign the bayat. He say, do, for say you don't become a true person in the sight of God the Almighty. No. He say, until and unless you act upon the teachings of the promised Messiah alayhi salam, you act upon me teaching according to what he writes. He say, then Allah the Almighty will make you part of that home concerning him. He don't tell me. He say, inni uhafizu kulla man fi dar. We mean say, me, refer to Allah, I will protect and guide everybody where they na you home, where they na you house. So the promised Messiah alayhi salam, he don't explain this particular revelation. Say, the people that don't misunderstand the meaning of the protection inside this revelation. For say, it mean the house where it be done build with the blocks them and mortar, that four wall. They open the normal way they inside that house day. Now then Allah Almighty go protect. He say no. He say, in fact, this is the refer to all my followers them. Where it be say, then they act, then they live their life in accordance with me own teachings, and then they follow me. He say so. Now then want them where they follow me teachings them with all the commandments them where Allah the Almighty He don't give me. He say, and for let them go able for do that one day. If important, very important for let them realize for say, then gets a particular God, we now omnipotent God, we now a God, we all powerful, he able for do anything at any time at his own will, and that particular God they in attribute in everlasting, na the one way in self-subsisting, it is support himself, and they receive support from anybody. He no get pikin, he no get mama, he no get papa. They no born him, himself no born. And that God they is free from any kind of suffering. For say, he get for go na the cross, then hang him and kill him. They far from that. And that the people then get for realize for say that God they na in the one we are the creator of everything, no. And he all powerful and he able for do anything where he want for do.
Exactly. Jazakumullah Hasana Jaza for this powerful explanation where it don't give where we say now according to the writings where the Promised Messiah don't give it inside this book Noah's Ark that now the Promised Messiah he received a revelation from Allah the Almighty for say he go protect all the people and where they na in house. And he explained that for say not to that building where it don't pin for say the one where they live inside it, now the normal God Almighty go protect, but rather all the one they be say now in true followers they where they follow in your teachings, God Almighty go save them from the punishment of this plague. Jazakallah for that wonderful explanation where it don't give. Inside this book, the other thing again where the Promised Messiah salam don't write. You see, with regards to the teachings of, the Promised Messiah give you the teachings about the greatness of Allah the Almighty, the honor of the Holy Quran and the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We get for right so many things that will be said and very nice. So for the thing them where the Promised Messiah don't write in this regard, I will request Brother Hassan Sisesa for making go give that explanation here to Fambula way the Panwatri.
Yeah, indeed, very important that the Promised Messiah Islam be emphasized on the need for the Jama member them for create a personal bond with Allah the Almighty, for create love, for Allah the Almighty. And he explained in the book that for make we go for achieve that day, we go for make we relationship with we compare more man them fine. That is, we not for nurture grudge, we not forget bad hearts, we not forget any evil intention for do any bad. They say when once we go for establish that day, then we go for gain nearness to God Almighty. So for that reason, he explained that would I get bad heart for him company, we'll get a nearness to God Almighty. Would I know for working at the word of righteousness, we'll forget nearness to God Almighty. So in a whole, he make it clear that we need for create relationship with God Almighty, a very strong one. How? By way we will get a very positive relationship with humanity, irrespective of religion, color, whatever. But we have to be, we forget respect, for humanity. And when it comes to the Holy Quran, I go on for use in exact words. Well, in Krio, and what he mentioned with regards to the Holy Quran, and he say a very important teachings for now that on not for abandon the Holy Quran, like thing we on don't forsake. He say because now inside the Holy Quran, na they on a life day. They want them we they honor the Holy Quran, na heaven, Allah the Almighty self go honor them. And self they want them we go put the Holy Quran above, the hadith and other sayings them, Allah the Almighty self go put them above, in the heaven. He said today, no book not in at the face of the world, for mortal man except the Holy Quran. So this short explanation we give is very much clear for long no say the Holy Quran that the most important thing today we connect we to Allah the Almighty. So for that reason they will for Allah with two and explain a lot more. But when it comes to the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he say indeed now the best of the Prophet them way Allah the Almighty don't send na the dunya. And the importance for we know say ain't go be the person tomorrow. Judgment day we go for intercede, meaning go for talk on behalf of the Muslim Ummah. So for that reason we also need for develop special love for the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and self alamakata, the beautiful teachings we don't count for we when are the teachings of Islam. And of course he explains some other very important points them we very much important for let we learn, let we know say this is not the kind way how you explain the greatness of Allah the Almighty, the Holy Quran and serve the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
Jazakumullah sana jaza for this beautiful explanation where you don't give with regards to the teachings where the Promised Messiah don't give in connection to the greatness of Allah the Almighty with regards to the honor of the Holy Quran and the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He tell you for say that you don't tell the Fambulen for make them get love for Allah the Almighty and for make them not abandon the Holy Quran, for honor the Holy Quran and of course the Holy Prophet Muhammad for make them understand for saying Nana the best of the Prophet and in tomorrow get for intercede for Motamandem on the day of Yom Al-Qiyam. Jazakallah for this beautiful explanation way it don't give. Inside this book, Noah's Ark, the promised Messiah alayhi salam be get for explain something where we say it in connection to in Jamaat members there for say the one them where then get for count as in members then na the heaven, we get for explain inside this book beautifully. So for that explanation where the promised Messiah alayhi salam don't give inside this book Noah's Ark, I will request Brother Hamid Ali Bangura sir for making go bring out that explanation there to fumble them.
Yes, indeed. The promised Messiah alayhi salam, he advised the Jamaat members them. Again, this he get for do with the bayat. The promised Messiah alayhi salam say that time where the plague be the cause destruction, and he began for advice for say now the only person where God Almighty don't send for make he go intercede for mortal man them, let Almighty Allah go save them. Now in the one, and he go only intercede for somebody at that particular time where you enter in the pledge, the allegiance to the promised Messiah alayhi salam. And you no go only do that one day, you go also follow in teachings to every inch of the commandment where Almighty Allah don't give him. To the extent that you say if you forget all you desires them, you wills them, you run your life according to the teachings where Allah the Almighty don't give him. He say that will make it intercede for you. He say, and he announced, he say, oh una the people them. He say, una will be counted as part of me jamats in the heaven. Only where una tinap for walking at the road of God fearing, of righteousness. He say, we will not do that one day, then God the Almighty, he go count una as part of me Jamaat members them, na the heaven. He say, and not to that one day no more. Una go also hold firm to the 5 pillars of Islam. It starts with the prayers. He say, una go pray the 5 daily prayers them with such concentration, so deeply that you see God the Almighty. Yes, as if you see God the Almighty, exactly. And then you now also get for God fast with good intention, only for the sake of God the Almighty.
Not to for show off.
Not to for show off, exactly. Just for the pleasure of Allah the Almighty. And it say, una also get for give in the way of Allah Almighty by way of zakat. Una we able for give. Una we de in that category, we una able for give the zakat, una for give. Then Allah Almighty will count as part of members them in the heavens. Then the promised Messiah Islam say, among una, the one that were able for perform the Hajj, the pilgrimage, na Makkah, therefore go and perform them, because this also a pillar of Islam. And we say una for do good in a very good way. Una for forget all kind evil. In fact, he say na something that one day, una for hate them. Now una hurt them. Yes. So the promised Messiah alayhi salam say, this na ingo take God Almighty, he count now as part of me Jamaat. Yes, na the heaven.
As an jaza for this wonderful explanation where he don't give, the promised Messiah alayhi salam, he don't explain for say if you want for make them count you as part of in Jamaat member na heaven, then need for be righteous and follow all the 5 pillars of Islam, just like I don't name them all, and for do good and left for do bad, right? Jazakumullah, gentlemen, for our contribution today inside this program. Indeed, I believe for say the Fambulance don't learn a lot from what you don't can discuss here. So today, dear viewers, now that time permit me for today in your own program. They encourage you all for make una go visit the official website when at www.alislam.org. Go to the library, look for the books then where the promised Messiah alayhi salam don't write. You will see among them book there when Noah's Ark we don't discuss here. So today, download down or you read down for your own very self so that you go understand better one how the promised Messiah alayhi salam don't explain inside this book here. And for the one that we did in our salon at the referent, now we headquarters, number 15 Basri, Buffet Freetown, for making come and buy the hard copy at a low cost. Until we meet again next time, I say, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.
वक्त था वक्त मसीहा न किसी और का वक्त, मैं न आता तो कोई और ही आया होता।